Hello, everybody. This is David Solomon. Welcome to Qobuz Live. I do have a little bit of news on the TOP call today. The band is they're literally on tour right now, and I'm not really sure exactly what's happened, but they haven't shown up yet. I'm going to bring my old buddy Robert Baird on with me for just a second. We're probably not going to stay here very long because I know that you guys haven't tuned in to see the Dave and Robert show. It was like I wouldn't stay if I was ready to hear Emilio or Dave or any of the guys from TOP and a couple of jokers like us show up. What would you do, Robert?
Yeah, I'd listen for about 3 seconds ago. Bye.
Yeah.
But we're pretty entertaining. Let's not sell ourselves short here.
Well, at any rate, we were going to try to be entertaining for 2 or 3 minutes before it. Hopefully, they show up, but we're going to end up sort of officially calling this for at least now and seeing if we can possibly reschedule and get this going. So, Robert, what do you have to say about TOP? Anything interesting? You had some great questions for these guys.
I did. In fact, my first question was where did they get the name Tower of Power, which I'm still going to ask them eventually here. But great band, been at it forever.
That's what I was thinking too. I was actually thinking that last night. It's like, what an incredibly great name. You can't come up with a much better name than that, especially for those guys, right?
I think it's just a cool name. I mean, I bet you they're going to say, you know what, we just came up with a cool name because they are kind of a tower of power, and their history is really about being a tower of power. They were the first call horn section on the West Coast for 30 years. I mean,
and everybody wanted them in their band, right? It's like
right.
how many
records,
guys? Yeah, on their record, right? How many records were these guys on outside of their own? But this is a total heartbreaker for me because I mean, TOP is truly one of my very favorite bands in the world. I think they started in 1968. I think was the first
1968
together of the band, and then everybody knows about their first album with What Is Hip and all these just great tunes. I think it just took the world by surprise. Listen, these guys aren't going to necessarily be here, but I do want to show you something that Robert and I were talking about this just a little while ago, which is their new album, the 50th anniversary that was recorded in the Fox in Oakland. I mean, that's where these guys started. That's why it's called Oakland Funk. I would be so proud to be from Oakland. Do you ever go there? Because if you do, my friends take me to funk bars there. They've got some really killer funk bars in Oakland and San Francisco.
That's what they came out of. That's what their history is.
I think it's just respect for TOP. I mean, who's giving up Oakland funk?
And look at all the people they influenced, David. I mean, we're not going to mention any names here, but they've influenced a lot of people since 1968, and still are.
I mean, including so many of us amateur musicians. David Garibaldi is just like one of the finest drummers I've ever heard. And, I've actually got to meet these guys a couple of times. Of course, I was just like a civilian fan. So it was a much bigger for me than for them. But, oh, my gosh, just being in their presence is incredible. In fact, just so you folks know, when we do interview TOP, we ask Robert to do it because he is so incredibly familiar with TOP, but he's just an incredible interviewer in general. And we're just so proud to have Robert with us.
David, thank you so much, old friend.
Really good writer. Used to be a writer for Stereophile. That he did a lot of the record reviews for Stereophile.
Music editor of Stereophile.
Which that was like the first section that I always went to, performance, 5, sound quality 3. Yeah, I would be one of those guys that still listen to that. It's like performance. That's the main thing for me.
Yeah.
But at any rate, I don't want to take up really more time than is necessary, but I do want to show you this. Yeah. Go by. We still have got our download store and we want you to support downloads. This is the 50th the 50 years of funk and soul live at the Fox from Tower of Power. And even if you're a civilian, you don't have to be a Qobuz member. You could go straight to Qobuz.com, click the download store, and as just a civilian, you could buy this incredible record for $11 and $24.96. And if you're a Sublime member of Qobuz, then you could buy this record for $5.99. But I would be remiss if I didn't bring this up, because our producer Neetha said, David, please bring up our Qobuz Fest. We've got a killer sale going on, up to 80%. Yeah, man. So we do this once a year, and we have just the best sales. One of the biggest reasons that we do this is because we love to support artists. It's such an important part of who Qobuz is. So, you know, we appreciate that you love the service. I mean, I still have to pinch myself every time I turn it on, but really, we all know that artists don't make great money streaming, but we do have a wonderful mechanism in our download store so that you can go and support your best artists. So even if you can stream it free, if they're your favorites, if you really love them, if they're just getting started, if you think they deserve support, if you think they deserve to be playing concerts next year when this thing really does open back up, go to Qobuz.com and buy some of their records. And today I'm asking you to buy a Tower of Power record, because that's who we're talking about.
Because you'll dig it, and you'll dig it.
Oh my gosh, it's incredible, isn't it?
Yep.
So Robert, thank you so much for being willing
thanks
for
having me on, my friend. Anytime.
Hop in here, and folks, we'll let you know. Hopefully we'll be able to reschedule this, and we'll let you know when it's coming. Until then, we thank you for tuning in to a false start Qobuz Live, but we're here.
Next time.
Take care of everybody.
Okay. Bye-bye.